right. Well, we are so pumped to have Justin Moore on Pure Country, new album, Stray Dog. Tell me about obviously the messaging behind this record, which I think is such an important one right now, to not really be afraid to stray away from the pack, basically.
Yeah, that's something I've kind of that's something I've been a champion of, I guess, throughout my career, is be who you are, and be genuine regardless of, you know, what that means career wise or whatever. Not by design, but for whatever reason, I've kind of been dubbed or whatever, an outlaw or outlier or nonconformist or however you want to say it. And the song "Stray Dogs," I think is a representation of that. And we've been so fortunate and so blessed that the industry and as for the most part, and country radio, the fans have been great to us and really given us way more success than I ever dreamed possible when I first started doing this. But there have been other things, like awards and award shows and things of that nature that I don't know. We seem to get looked over every single year for the last 16 years, with the exception of once. And that's not sour grapes. That's just me being honest about what the song's about. And I've kind of learned, if it's personal to me, then it usually is to my fans. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in or what business you're in, or even, group of friends, or what. It doesn't have to be related to work necessarily, but people that are comfortable enough in their own skin to know, hey, I may be taking the path less traveled or whatever, but this is me. And an example would be me. I lived in Nashville for almost 10 years, and when my wife and I made the decision to move back to Arkansas, where I'm from, 13 years ago, when we had our oldest daughter, that was certainly not a popular thing,
Yeah.
with my record label. And but it was what I wanted to do, and my wife wanted to do, and it was right for our family. And so anyway, that's a long-winded way of saying that that song is somewhat autobiographical. And so that's why we named the album "Stray Dog." And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that we've kind of done it our way, and we're still here to talk about it. I don't know why, but we are. But I'm thankful for it.
I think we all know why. But I think it's cool because there's, you think of a stray dog and there's this negative connotation that usually comes with that term. And, you go to high school and you want to fit in with the pack and like the kids and the popular kids. And I think it's crazy which you would know super well too, as being a parent, is when you grow up and you find out what the real world is like, that's not actually the way you want to live your life. You do want to pave your
Right.
path and find your people and not just try to fit in with the in crowd. And seeing your career, because like I was at CRS getting to watch you perform Small Town USA and going, wow, like look at where his career has come. And how we've talked about this before, like there was that time in country music where you could go this way and follow what everyone else was doing. And you were like, no, we're going to stick on this path that, I believe is true to me. And so it's cool. This
Yeah.
is really kind of an all encompassing feeling of wrapping up this part of your career that you've been, following in. And I feel like the song "Everybody Get Along" with Riley Green, which is just so damn good,
Oh, thank you.
oh, it's so awesome. It really like truly does bring you back to like the Hank days, and it makes you sit there and listen and be like you two are sitting having a beer telling a story. And why is that song so important, especially right now in the world where everybody has such polarizing opinions on literally everything in the world?
Yeah, literally everything. It's first of all, it's a fun song, and we got to do that together, which a lot of fans may know, but maybe a lot of them don't know. That's not really how it happens anymore with technology being as it is. A lot of time you do these duets, and you know, I do my part one place and he does his somewhere else at a different time. And it happened to work out to where we actually were in the studio doing it together, which we should always try to do that because you get there's just a different energy and in this song in particular, this was kind of a more conversational type song, and I thought it really helped, and I think it came across in the album. Not to sound too artsy fartsy, but I do think it matters
Yes.
when you can do that. But to your point, yeah, I think. I mean, and this is just my opinion, but I mean, I think where most of the problems lie with everything being divisive is a communication breakdown and and wanting to have your opinion heard or your point of view heard uh more than you want to hear the other point of view. So I think as a whole we're not very good at listening, to be honest with you, and
Yeah.
communicating. And this song kind of makes that type of point in a humorous way. So it's not beating you over the head with it. It's not standing behind a pulpit or on a soapbox and just going, preaching at you, so to speak. But I do think that the message I do think is an important one. That we can have different points of view. We can see the world through a different lens, and still be great friends. We can, even if we're not great friends, we can still respect one another. Look, I have friends who vote like me, and I have great friends who vote the opposite of me. If you want to relate it to politics, I have great friends who, you know, we see eye to eye on everything, and I have great friends who we hardly see eye to eye on anything. But we respect each other because, as long as you have an educated um, thought on something, and it's not just spewing nonsense that you heard somewhere or
Yeah.
read somewhere, you have an educated opinion on something. I'm good with that, even if I don't agree with it.
And like you said, it's in the listening. It's like even
So
if you do have an uneducated opinion on something, if you can sit there and listen to somebody else explain to
yeah,
you maybe why it's not. And it's so funny, like there's obviously in the song, it's super funny, and there's things that are like, Chevy and Ford and that, but those are things that like people do argue about. And so it goes from like
yeah, yeah. It's
very
funny,
serious and very not so serious things.
and yeah, the ironic thing about this song is the two guys in the song are identical. I mean, they're just alike. I mean, they like everything the same. It's just a brand or whatever. I think it also proves it's a parallel for our world too, where we're probably not as far apart as we think we are. And we just don't listen to each other.
Yeah.
So
The lesson we learned today is listening, which you should also listen to Justin Moore's
yeah,
album Stray Dog while you're,
please,
the
yeah.
theme of listening. I know you have to go. You got lots of people to talk to, but before we go, I just want to congratulate you on You, Me, and Whiskey with Priscilla Block. That is such a cool pairing of voices. I've been lucky enough to hear it live, and the two of you on stage together is just like I couldn't have picked a voice that sounds better with your voice. It's so cool to hear you guys together.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. She's great.
So yeah,
It's hard to sound bad with her being a part of it. She and I got to know each other a couple of years ago and a little bit, played a show together. I was not familiar with her at that time, and she was brand new at the time, so that's not a knock. But I instantly became a huge fan, and when I got this song, she was the first person I thought of, and fortunately, she said yes, and the song's in the top 25 here, doing well for us, and hopefully it'll continue to do so. And I'm really impressed by her. She's been out on the road with us this spring, and I knew she could sing, and I knew she had great songs, and but she is really, really good on stage. So anybody out there, if you have a chance, I would encourage you to go see her play. And go get all of her music. She's an impressive young woman. I think she's got a really, really bright future ahead of her, and I can't wait to continue to watch her career grow and her grow as an artist over the next, however many years.
Well, it's been cool to get to watch your career and be a fan first of your music. And I feel like this album, Justin Moore fans are going to be so, so, so happy listening to this
Well,
record.
thank you.
I feel like I could talk to you forever. I always say this, but thank you so much
Well, thank
for
you.
doing this, and congrats on the new album, Stray Dog. Justin Moore on Pure Country.